Hello, all you writers out there. It is time for you to learn everything you need to know to write, publish, and promote a great book. I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins, co-founder of Two Sisters Writing and Publishing, and every Friday I've been going live with our superstar author, Joanie Lindenmeyer, to talk about how you can learn to write, publish, and promote your best-selling book, memoir, or business book. So I just want to say hello and welcome, Joanie.
Hi there, Elizabeth. Good to see you today on our beautiful Friday. Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
So today we have a really important topic because you write your book and then you have to figure out how should you publish your book. And there are a lot of factors to consider. And one of them is budget, time, um, your own platform, but we're going to get into that. Today we're talking about why hybrid publishing is so popular right now. And so let me just share that Two Sisters Writing and Publishing is a hybrid publisher. And we published Joanie's best-selling memoir, None Better, An Amazing Love Story. We also published the two books that Joanie and I wrote together, Joyously Free and Healing Religious Hurts. And together, my sister Catherine Greenspan and I, over the past 10 years, have published 70 books. And so this is a wonderful, yeah, we're celebrating our 10-year anniversary right now. And this is a really wonderful platform that allows everyday people like us to create our own publishing company with global distribution. And it's a very, very popular way to go. So I want to talk about what it is. What is hybrid publishing and does it work for you? And you also get to hear from Joanie about her experience on why she chose to publish with Two Sisters Writing and Publishing. So let's start there. Joanie, of all the options, self-publishing, going after a literary agent and a Big Five New York publisher, why did you choose Two Sisters Writing and Publishing, a hybrid publisher?
That is a great question. Um, Bottom line, I trusted Dan. I met Catherine on a phone call. I met you on a phone call and then a Zoom. And I thought, okay, let me go pray about it. The only thing I had was the book. And it was just a one page of our book, the Joni and Carol None Better book. This is the original book, everybody.
Uh-huh.
All I had was this. And I went, oh boy, this is emotional. I went to the prayer corner, Elizabeth, after talking to Dan and you and your sister. And I said, Carol, and I pulled out what do you call this when you have a funeral? I
Funeral
pulled this
program.
out program. I pulled this out and I pulled my book and I said, what should I do? What should I do? I don't understand this whole new world. All I know is it's a book and I don't know what to do with it. What do I do? And it was like a total trust. I'm a pretty good intuitive person picking up personality of you, Catherine, and Dan. And it was like, that was the connection. I had to rely on that. I did a tiny bit of research and I thought, no, I'm not going with those big things. And I'm not going with doing it by myself because I don't know what the heck I'm doing. And it was like, I need a team. That was the thing. I needed a team that would be there through all of it, through all of it. And that's why I chose to go with you and Catherine and Two Sisters. And the final clinch for me, it was called, your business is called Two Sisters. How apropos can that be for two nuns?
Oh, I never made that
Okay.
connection,
Two
Joni.
sisters, two nuns. It all just connected in my heart. And I can tell I'm a little teary eyed thinking about it. And I'm thinking, it was 4 years ago, Elizabeth, that this all happened. 4 years. Think about that, everybody. What has happened in your life 4 years ago? And the time goes by so fast.
Yeah.
So if you're writing a book, you're looking for somebody to go to, you can rely on it. Look at that. I've been with them for 4 years. They haven't given up on me. Hopefully, I've enhanced their life, and they have definitely enhanced my life in so many ways.
Yes,
I
yes,
owe them my
absolutely.
blood and my sweat and my tears and my laughter. It all comes out. So
Yes,
thanks be to
beautiful.
God for two sisters. Hybrid, yep, like a car, lots of power, gas and battery. Woohoo!
Oh, wow. What a great way to say it, Joni. That's awesome. So
Yeah,
that's a wonderful, wonderful testimony. And secondly, so you can see that it's not just about the business. It's about the intuition, the gut feeling, the connection that you feel, and that's worth its weight in gold.
yep.
Because there's all kinds of companies out there that will tell you they're going to give you the sun, moon, and stars and may deliver it or may not. But it's all about your gut and trusting that and how things resonate and how people resonate. Do you trust them? Because that's key. But for those of you who want a little clarification on what is a hybrid publisher, it is a combination of self-publishing and traditional publishing. In traditional publishing, you need a literary agent who will shop your manuscript to the big five publishers. Those are the five major publishing houses in New York City. Those are the most prestigious, and they write you a check, it's called an advance, to purchase the rights to publish your book. Then they do everything: editing, book cover design, assigning ISBNs, copyright, um, working with an editor who you team up with that you perfect the manuscript, publishing, distribution, marketing. They do all the things because they have very deep pockets. And if you rank high enough in the world to get a big book deal with them, it can be a wonderful, wonderful launch pad for a huge, lucrative, influential career. Most people don't have what they're looking for, which is a big platform that ensures that you can sell your books, whether you're a speaker or you have a big social media platform or whatever it might be, because they really want to ensure that you have an audience built in already that will buy your book. Yes, there are exceptions, but for the most part, it's very difficult to break into the big five publishing. Therefore, people resort to self-publishing, which is very easy on Amazon. It's the cheapest, fastest way for you to publish your book. Huge learning curve. A lot of people have zero desire to try and do all that. That's where hybrid steps in. We perform all the tasks of publishing, and we include, it's an all-inclusive experience of editing, assigning ISBNs, doing your title setups, and working with you to do all the things. We connect you with a graphic designer to do your book cover and your interior formatting, boom, done. And it's a long-term relationship because for the life of your book, we're managing your quarterly royalty payouts as well as your book orders. And so all of our authors become our friends, long-term relationships. It's amazing. So we have a boutique experience, and that's really what a lot of people want. And I'm in Michigan, Catherine's in Oregon, my business partner, sister. And so people like the local angle of working with a company that has a local presence. So Ashland, Oregon, Detroit, Michigan, that works for us too. And so hybrid is you pay us to perform all the services, and then you earn your royalties and you sell books and make money. So just that's it in a nutshell. So Joni, can you talk about whether you had any desire to self-publish or try and get an agent and go to like Random House?
Had no desire. My very first phone call with you, Elizabeth, you explained all this and you put it even on a screen on the Zoom. And I remember in my quick mind, I'm thinking, I don't want to do all of that. I want to leave that up to the experts. I knew that if I'm involved in this, I wanted a coach who knew what she was doing. And you were the one for that. And I didn't want to self-publish because I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to add more work on. It was enough work to write the book and go through my grief at the time. In terms of a big publisher, it's like I was not a person who reads book and read books. I blew my family and friends away when I told them I was writing a book. They had no clue, and I didn't even know I could do it. And it was like, how could I even think that big at that time? That wasn't a part of my thinking process. And again, it came back to the trust. And it came back, the money was a big factor too, I have to tell you, because at first, and I knew when I was going to hire you, we got to that point, it was like, well, how much? And then I realized, oh my gosh, I just sold my mobility van. That paid exactly the same amount for your coaching, for doing the book, the publishing, the editing, my business card. That paid for the whole thing for none better. And I recouped that money in the first year. It was like, yes, I knew it was for reals.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
But it
Okay,
is
so
an
you,
investment. It is an investment. And I think people need to realize that both time and money and energy.
yeah, huge investment. But guess what? What you earn back is you earn money when you market your book and go out and sell it like you've done so beautifully, in an exemplary way, Joni. That's
Thank
why I
you.
call you our superstar author.
Thank
But
you.
you do earn money from selling your books. But what you get back in the fulfillment of being
Yeah.
an author, personally, you've reflected on your life. You've preserved your life in words forever. And for you, Joni, it's you and Carol's story. So it's
Right.
double whammy. And what you also get back in ways that are immeasurable and you can't put a dollar amount is how you touch people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
And your
Mm-hmm.
story in particular, Joni, how people have come out to you for the first time in their life, including the
Mm-hmm.
85-year-old lady, how young people see you as a beacon of hope and inspiration and courage to come out and live their truth.
Mm-hmm.
So many. The list is very long because you've been out since None Better, Joyously Free, and Healing Religious Hurts have come out. Just yesterday, I was at an event and this young lady told me she met you at Pride and she remembered meeting you and she said she
Detroit.
wants to read your book. I don't remember seeing her there, but that was, you were here 2 years ago for Pride
Years ago.
2024 when we launched Joyously Free. So it's, you stay in the hearts of people,
Mhm.
people we don't even know that, even if they didn't even read the book, Joni, just
Right.
your
That's amazing.
example,
Oh my gosh.
right? It's mind blowing. Mind blowing. And for a young person, especially who's trying to figure out their way in the world as a, especially as an LGBTQ plus person, seeing your courage, your confidence, your conviction of being out in the literally out in the world, being an example of what they can be, no dollar amount. But that's one of the dividends, the gifts from
Mhm.
investing in the book. Had you not written the book, you never would have been with us in Detroit, meeting that young lady who, for 2 years, has carried the inspiration of meeting you, even if she hasn't read the book. Does that not blow your mind?
I'm so humbled. I'm so humbled, and that was another factor why I chose you and Catherine, Elizabeth. I could be me. I could be me. I could be the spiritual religious Joanie. I could be the grieving widow, and I could be my lesbian outness. Those things were so celebrated with you and Catherine. It was never an issue. It was never a question. It was just this immense love that you poured onto me and the belief in who I was, as well as what I could write and give to the world. That was
Hmm.
so huge, so huge.
Yay,
Thank
yay.
you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So we're talking about hybrid publishing here, and Joni, you did publish with us. However, the journey didn't start there. The journey started with me coaching you in my 6 months to best-selling book success program, so that you and I cultivated a relationship, a friendship, professional guidance, but at the same time on the path to publishing.
Right.
So for everybody out there, it really like it was an added bonus that Joni coached with us to write her book. Um,
Yes.
and
And that
that
was an
was,
option.
yeah.
That was an option. If I
Mhm.
self-published, who's going to be my coach?
Right,
I
right.
couldn't do it myself. How do you coach something when you don't know it? I needed a coach. And
Yeah.
if I went with something bigger, it was like, oh my gosh, were they really going to give me the time of day?
Wow, good point. There are lots of hybrid publishers out there, and some of them talk a really good game, and it might look like they have a lower price than we have, and that they add more things in for the price, but there is sort of a factory feeling. Like
Mhm.
you're one of many, and it's just sort of not as personalized as what we offer. And then there's also built-in expenses. So it looks like at the front you might be paying less, but they have built-in expenses for things that are add-ons. So
Right.
if you're exploring hybrid publishers, I highly recommend that you do a lot of research, read their
Good point.
customer reviews, make sure that all their promises are delivered upon with as told by past customers that they have and authors. I do hear lots of stories, sadly, from people who published elsewhere for whatever reason, and then they come back and say, "Oh, I wish I had worked with you. They're not sending me my books. My book still isn't published. It was a nightmare trying to do Amazon myself, running my business and having my family." So there's so many things people say to me with regret that they didn't just put it in our hands and
Yeah.
invest in the experience
Yeah.
of an all-inclusive, professional, reliable, trustworthy service that we provide.
Right. And that's my joy, Elizabeth, is that because I've had this great experience and everything is very successful with you and Catherine, I'm able to tell people about that and they're able to ask me questions. And I am like literally honest, honest, honest. My nose never grows. And so I'm able to answer some of their questions about you, but more importantly, then you can have a call with them. And you don't charge for that first call, that discovery call, I think is what you call it, right? A discovery
Yes.
call.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And why
Yeah.
don't you talk about that? Because that is so important.
Well, a discovery call essentially is something anybody can book from our website, twosisterswriting.com. And what a discovery call is, best case scenario is over Zoom, so we can see each other face to face because most of our authors are all over the country. And so you just kind of get a gauge for the person. Do you click? Do you vibe? Is what they're writing something that we actually publish? We don't publish everybody. We publish inspirational memoirs, business books, novels. And when I say inspirational, I mean things that are like against the odds success stories. And we also specialize in diverse voices. So we love to showcase everybody and we also have to have philosophical alignment with our views. We're feminists. We are LGBTQ plus advocates, allies. We are people of color, and we want everybody, especially people who may not have been easily given the spotlight in the world, to tell their story. Those are huge, huge, huge priorities for us. And anybody who doesn't philosophically align with that is not our person. So we work with people who help advance our messaging of unity, harmony, love, peace, inclusion, diversity, period. So there's that. And then also sometimes we have done discovery calls with people. Thanks, Joanie. Clapping. Um, Discovery calls with people whose personalities don't mesh. They might be very, very, very negative or critical from jump. Not critical, but like asking questions that are so nitpicky that indicate that a long-term relationship would not go smoothly. So you
Mm-hmm.
have any business person has to identify if a personality doesn't work for them.
Right.
That's just legit to save everybody time and energy and frustration down the road. There's that. And so discovery call, Joni, and thank you for asking, is a time to just get to know a person. That's why we don't charge. It's like a free consultation to say, do we offer the services that you need? Can we help you? And also, do you fit our brand? Do you fit our culture?
Right. And then you add the word confidential in there. Everybody, I think that Elizabeth and Catherine are the most confidential people I have ever met. They hold your life in your hands. Anything you tell them does not go anywhere. It doesn't even go between them as sisters. So if I tell something to Elizabeth, she doesn't even tell her sister Catherine, and vice versa. That's how profound that is. And that is rare in this world. And to be able to trust that impeccably makes all the difference in the world.
Wow, Joanie. So I'm writing a blog post about being a ghostwriter and talking about how trust is one of the number one factors because exactly what you just said. Because people, when I'm writing their books, it's a very intimate, long-term experience, and they tell me all their secrets, secrets that other people don't even know, their kids, their spouses. And guess what? They never will because I never talk about it.
No.
And so you either
Amazing. You're amazing that way. Oh, and so is
thank you.
Catherine. That's why I
Thank
think I bow, and I don't mean that as a bow as like you're a god or anything, but just in appreciation and just gratitude for that.
thank you. But
Yeah.
trust, Joni, is something you either feel with someone or you don't. And
hmm
when you don't feel that you can trust, if somebody feels slippery, you know it right away,
hmm
especially a salesy type person.
hmm
If you know they're just
hmm
saying whatever you want to hear to get you to sign and pay, just beware of that. All of you out there looking for a hybrid publisher, beware of that. And if you don't have any personal interaction with someone, like an in-person Zoom discovery call, and it's just all online, oh, here's my manuscript. Here, let me pay. Oh, you're going to do this, and here's the bullet points. No, I wouldn't want to do business like that with something as personal as my book.
Right, right. And when you talk personal, I know AI has come on the scene for a lot of writers, and you are not about that. I am not about that. And to me, that was also a big factor on books 2 and 3, Joyously Free and Healing Religious Hurts, because that's when AI was becoming more popular. Why don't you talk about that in terms of your business?
Thank you, Joni. That's a hugely hot topic right now. AI is a tool that enables people to write a book in a blink, period. You can put in a prompt and it'll write your book and you can publish it right now on Amazon and sell your book. So, yes, it's possible. However, readers do not want to read an AI book and they're able to determine if it is an AI written book. So, for example, there's a book called Shy Girl and it was published by a major publisher. And readers were like, oh no, this is not written by a human. And so there was a big controversy. The publisher pulled the book from the market. And further investigation showed that portions of it appeared to be AI written. And the author said that they handed it over to an editor who put it through an AI program to edit and that apparently changed some of the writing. Well, first of all, people believe it or they don't believe it, whatever. The bottom line is readers want authentic writing, which comes from the heart and the soul. That's what hooks people's emotions. That's what gets them engaged. That's what your rose come sit with me in the rose garden chapter makes me cry because you wrote it from your heart and soul and spirit. As you and I have discussed so many times, Joni, writing comes from the soul and it's spiritually guided to the point it sometimes feels like it's channeled. And you said that chapter sound felt like it was channeled by Jesus and Joni through you.
Totally.
And so a computer can't do that. And it also can't elicit the emotion that a heart-centered storytelling book can do.
Right.
So, yes, AI is there. And what are your thoughts about AI, Joni?
I think there's probably appropriate times to use it. I use it a little bit with my radio station and coming up with a description of who the guest is going to be. But then we also edit that. And so just the other day, there was one that came and I go, no, 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 we need to change a couple words in there. The AI didn't quite get the grip on that one, but that's the only place in just a short little factual description. That's
Yeah.
it. That's
Yeah.
it.
So I
Yeah.
use AI every day. It is so tremendously helpful for me as an editor, publisher, and author. I use it for tasks that I used to have to pay an assistant to do. So I would have to assign the task, email it to the assistant, wait for them to do it, pay them for it, and then get it. And now
Wow.
I can do it in a flash. So one example is formatting an endnote or footnote.
Mm,
If I
mm.
just punch into an AI program, um, create me an endnote formatted for Chicago Manual of Style, I put in the link, blink, there it is. I didn't
Nice.
have to pay anybody. I didn't have to wait. I can just put it in the manuscript. I
Awesome.
love, I love using it like that.
Awesome.
And also sometimes I use it like a thesaurus. If I
Hmm.
need, like
Hmm.
if I've said the word rejected too many times, I'm like, give me more verbs for rejected, synonyms.
Hmm.
And it's boom, here's a list. So
Nice.
I also use it for when I'm ghostwriting and I need a historical context for something. It
Mhm.
can sometimes be more comprehensive than a Google search.
Mm.
So it's extremely helpful for research for me when I'm ghostwriting.
Cool. Cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know why this just popped in my. I love all that you said. That's so awesome. Another thing that popped in my mind working with you and Catherine. And as a rookie, I was a rookie, and there may be other people out that are rookies in the book world, but there may be some of you that have already published a book and you want to try somebody new. So go for that. But as a rookie, when you came up and you told me, Joanie, we got your ISBNs. I thought, oh my gosh, it sounds like a disease. What do I have? And then you told me what it was, and it was like so thrilling. It was like a
Oh,
social security number. It was like my
oh,
driver's license for the very first time, you know.
oh,
And then when you told me, let me see if I have it right. International, that's the first, the I, right? International. And I said to myself, oh my gosh, my books are going around the world. And then you jumped in and said, yes, yes, yes. And 39,000 places online, they'll be able to buy it. And I'm just going, oh my gosh. And then Catherine came back and said, with that international, I'll provide you the report, what's her word? Analytics for where your books are. And so I'm learning all this terminology and I'm still thinking, okay, it's the ISBN. And I was so proud that day when you gave me the ISBNs for None Better. I was going around all the whole town. I have ISBN numbers. I have ISBN numbers. They didn't know what they were hearing from me, most people, and I was just so excited to explain it to them. So maybe you can jump in and explain to everybody listening the power and the beauty of an ISBN.
oh, that's amazing, Joni. It's so funny. That's just like one more task that we do here, but to hear the impact of that for you is incredible. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that. I've never heard you say this. So, an
Yeah.
ISBN is an international standard book number, and it's the number that is on the barcode right here. And every book format. So this is the paperback. The ebook has its own ISBN. The hardcover, there's not a hardcover for this, but a hardcover version of the same book has its own. So you need three if you have three formats. If you have an audiobook, there's a different one assigned. But the
And it's on the
ISBN
front,
is,
it's when you open the book up, it's on that page with
yes,
all the
put it on the
copyright and all
copyright.
that, all the legal stuff. That's a whole other thing that you do. Oh my gollies, yes.
So that's the copyright page, and the ISBNs are listed on the copyright page. See?
Yes. There we
Yeah.
go. ISBN.
Yes. And so it's an international standard book number, which is the equivalent of a social security number for your book. It's the number that is tracked in the system of all the places where your book is. Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Apple Books, but most importantly, it's put into Ingram Spark, which is the global distribution platform that we use. And so when we set up your title, we put in the ISBN. So it is the identifying number for your book. Everywhere it tracks sales, it goes into systems that show how many you've sold, how many, your royalties, how much money you've made. And it also is protective because it's registered with the Library of Congress. And
And I
so,
own the rights. You own the rights to that
yeah,
book. That is powerful. I mean, it's bigger than owning a house or a car, everybody. It's going to last forever. A house and a car aren't going to last forever. Your book is going to last forever.
yes, Joni. So that's a really good point that we as a hybrid publisher are committed to having our authors keep the rights to their books. When you sign with Simon and Schuster, Random House, or the other big publishers in New York, they own the rights. So you cannot do anything with your story, your book. You have to wait for them to publish it, which can take 2 years or more. Whereas we publish None Better. Well, you started writing it in the summer and we published it in March, which is extraordinary. I wouldn't recommend that at all, but we did that. We can do it that fast. Now we have much longer
Like a
lead
9 month
times.
pregnancy.
Funny. It is like a pregnancy because you give birth to a book and it takes a team.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're right. Yeah. But that's a great point though, Joni, ownership, because now you own it and a lot of people really, really prefer to know that they own their story. So that's a great point. Any final thoughts about hybrid
And
publishing?
related to that, that's in my trust. So when I die, that is in my trust as well, because
Oh,
I own the rights.
yes. Yes, I
Yeah.
love
And,
that.
and to me, that was really, really important as a single woman and not having kids. That was important. What do I leave? What's my legacy? Yes, the book is a legacy, but also the stuff behind it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Joni. Very important. Very important.
Oh,
So,
this has been a great topic, Elizabeth. Wow,
yeah,
so
I'm really
good.
excited that we talked about this. Hybrid publishing is the way to go. Just on a final note, some people want to learn how to use Ingram Spark, the publishing platform, to be their own publisher. So I do train people on how to do that. So that's been very fulfilling to see them actually get published by doing it themselves.
Cool,
So, Joni,
cool.
thank you for your wonderful insights on this topic today.
Oh, and thank you for your knowledge and your expertise. Oh, yes, yes.
You're
Together,
welcome.
that's the teamwork.
Yep.
Together, everyone achieves more.
Yes, yes, yes. And teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
All
yes.
right.
Thank
Well,
you.
you're welcome. Thank you, Joni, and thank you all of you
You're
writers out
welcome.
there. Please share this with anybody who's trying to write a book and wants to learn how to publish with a hybrid publisher. Please also visit twosisterswriting.com where you can go to our bookstore and order our books. You can also book a discovery call and see how we can help you make your writing dreams come true. And you can also get our newest book, Write Your Book in a Day, The Blueprint for Turning Your Book Dreams into Published Reality by Elizabeth Ann Atkins and Catherine Greenspan. And of course, there's a quote by Joanie talking about how this really works. And she's inside the book as well. So, thank you, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode of this podcast that teaches you everything you need to know to write, publish, and promote a great book. We wish you happy reading and happy writing.
Great day, everybody. Thank you again, Elizabeth. You're such an expert. Woohoo! Thank you.